Pronounced beaver, meaning beautiful view in French, this castle appears to have been plucked straight from a fairy tale. Widely regarded as one of the finest examples of Regency architecture in the world, its opulent interiors are equally unparalleled. It's no wonder Belvoir Castle has held such a prominent role in film and television. Join me for an exclusive tour inside, and trust me, you'll want to stay until the end to witness its most breathtaking rooms. Belvoir Castle has been the home of the Dukes of Rutland and their descendants since the Norman conquest of England. However, the castle we see today is the fourth to stand on this site. The first castle, built in the typical Motte and Bailey design, was founded by Robert de Todini, the family's earliest ancestor. Todini's lineage continued for several generations before the estate was transferred through marriage from the de Roos family to Sir Robert Manners. Interestingly, Robert's son George married the niece of Edward IV, establishing a royal bloodline that was inherited by their son, Sir Thomas Manners. The second castle at Belvoir, completed in 1543, replaced the now dilapidated Norman structure that had largely been dismantled after the Wars of the Roses. Built for Sir Thomas Manners, the first of his family to reside at Belvoir, the castle was constructed in a medieval style. The Manners family were already influential and wealthy, but Sir Thomas's status was further enhanced by his royal blood and King Henry VIII's favouritism. As a result, he was created first Earl of Rutland. The English Civil War had significant consequences for Belvoir Castle. Ultimately, the castle was surrendered to Parliament and soon destroyed. In 1668, it was rebuilt in the style of a classical mansion. This third incarnation of Belvoir Castle was built for the 8th Earl, with his wife the Countess being the primary driving force behind its design. The Countess desired a palatial country house, not a castle. In 1703, their son the 9th Earl was created Marquis of Granby and Duke of Rutland. The Duke's grandson, the 3rd Duke of Rutland, made improvements to the castle, while his son, the 4th Duke, nearly bankrupted the estate by significantly enhancing the castle's art collection. He even engaged the services of the legendary architect Lancelot Capability Brown in redesigning the castle and grounds. Tragically, as Lord Lieutenant of Ireland, he died in service at just 33. The striking Fairytale castle we see today is attributed to John Henry, the 5th Duke of Rutland, and the Duchess Elizabeth. By the turn of the century, Belvoir Castle had experienced a significant decline. Unfurnished and in a dreadful state of disrepair, it was a stark contrast to Elizabeth's family home, Castle Howard. As a daughter of the 5th Earl of Carlisle, Elizabeth had grown up in absolute opulence and desired a dream home for herself and the Duke. Designed by the renowned Gothic Revival architect James Wyatt and completed in 1831, Belvoir Castle embodies the romance of a medieval fortress while serving as a grand aristocratic residence. Its commanding position over the Vale of Belvoir, ashlar stone construction and asymmetrical design make it an absolute sight to behold. Today, the castle is widely regarded as one of the finest examples of Regency architecture in existence. Belvoir Castle bears a striking resemblance to parts of Windsor Castle, which is unsurprising given that Wyatt was responsible for some of Windsor's later modifications. This has made Belvoir a popular filming destination, often standing in for the royal residence. Perhaps best known for its role in Netflix's popular period drama The Crown, Belvoir has also appeared in well-known movies such as 2017's Victoria and Abdul. That was a brief overview of Belvoir Castle's history. Now let me show you what makes it special. Its sumptuous interiors. James Wyatt meticulously crafted the romantic Gothic Revival style that defines much of the castle's interior. His designs incorporated grand medieval-inspired elements such as vaulted ceilings, intricate woodwork, and rich colour schemes. Sadly, Wyatt died suddenly in 1813, and a devastating fire broke out at the castle in 1816, largely delaying its completion. However, his work continued through his son, Benjamin Dean Wyatt, and other architects. Visitors to the castle will be in awe of the opulent and theatrical interior spaces. Serving as a prelude to the show is the pre-guard room. Entering via the portico, visitors pass through a wonderful vaulted corridor adorned with 120 muskets. Above the entrance doorway hangs the giant head of an elk called Pete. This was gifted to the 4th Duke in the late 18th century from an Irish peat bog. The pre-guard room offers a glimpse of what lies ahead, but the moment you step through the double doors into the Great Hall, or guard room, is truly jaw-dropping. This magnificent space perfectly blends Regency fashion with medievalism, featuring a high vaulted ceiling, dual fireplaces, and military iconography. The most intriguing design feature is the absence of a chimney atop the main fireplace. This clever design allows for the stunning Cantilever Staircase to be visible from the hall, creating a sense of theatre. Imagine the Duchess descending the stairs, all eyes on her as she makes a dramatic entrance to greet esteemed guests. Adjacent to the guard room are 2 stone staircases with a cannon from the First Sikh War positioned at their base. These stairs evoke the feeling of entering a grand medieval palace, leading up to the Carriage Landing, named after the 7th Duke's Victorian invalid carrier that transported him around the castle in his later years. As guests cross the landing, which is beautifully lit by natural light from the windows, they encounter more treasures and curiosities. Belvoir, like many great houses, boasts its own chapel. This is one of the few rooms that survived from the 3rd house and has undergone a Gothic makeover by Wyatt. Above the altar hangs a picture of the Holy Family, featuring the infant St. John. Beside the altar sits a beautifully carved effigy of Lord Haddon, the 9th Duke's elder brother, who tragically passed away at the tender age of 9. The walls of the chapel are adorned with large tapestries depicting biblical scenes, one of which I particularly found beautiful. I mentioned the main staircase earlier, and now let me show you. The stunning Cantilever Staircase appears to float, supported by its own design. The decor once again transports you back to the castle's genuine medieval past. The staircase hall serves as a central hub, connecting the entrance spaces to the opulent staterooms above. Trust me, you're in for a real treat. Before we delve into the most magnificent rooms Belvoir Castle has to offer, I have one small favour to ask. If you appreciate my work and want to support me in creating more exclusive content like this, please consider subscribing to my channel. You can hit the bell icon to stay updated on all the latest developments. If you're feeling particularly generous, please give this video a thumbs up and help me keep the ever-changing algorithm happy. I'm also on Instagram at Explore Heritage. Thanks so much. Standing at 131 feet in length, the striking Regent's Gallery sits in the same spot as the 3rd castle's long gallery. However, Wyatt's architectural genius allowed the gallery to be doubled in width at the centre due to the placement of the castle's round tower. Completed in 1814, the gallery enjoyed a visit by the Prince Regent. During my visit, the Regent's Gallery, like much of the castle, buzzed with activity. Carpets were being cleaned and fireplaces were being prepared for the coming visitor season. Despite this, the opulence of the place was undeniable, and I felt as though I'd stepped into a royal residence. Interestingly, the Regent's Gallery, as well as several other rooms, stood in as one of Windsor Castle's interiors in The Crown. Belvoir Castle has a long history with royalty and includes a suite known as the King's Rooms. These rooms were used by visiting royals such as George IV when he was Prince Regent and Queen Victoria. The sitting room boasts a beautiful mahogany canopy bed, while the bedroom is highlighted by a magnificent yellow silk draped 4-poster bed. The hand-painted wallpaper throughout reflects an early 19th century Oriental-inspired design. The area connecting the King's Rooms to the Regent's Gallery is the Earl's Landing, located above the staircase hall. I was repeatedly assured that the best was yet to come, which I found hard to believe until I stepped into the enormous picture gallery. This was another awe-inspiring moment. The expansive picture gallery was created to display the Dukes of Rutland's vast art collection. The gallery boasts an intricate plasterwork ceiling and large lunette windows that beautifully light up the paintings. You'll see a glass cabinet containing a massive 4-poster bed made for the Countess of Rutland in 1696. This rare piece was meticulously restored by the 9th Duke in the 1920s before being relocated from its former home at Haddon Hall. Unfortunately, many great artworks were lost in the 1816 fire, but the collection remains extensive, featuring works by Gainsborough and Stubbs. While not an authentic Holbein, the iconic portrait of Henry VIII is equally impressive and dominates the room. I believed the picture gallery was unbeatable. How mistaken I was. The Elizabeth Saloon is undoubtedly one of the most magnificent and impressive rooms I have ever encountered. This opulent stateroom, adorned with gold leaf detailing, intricate ceilings and exquisitely upholstered furniture, is unparalleled. Named after Duchess Elizabeth, the saloon was crafted as a lavish space for entertaining, capturing the grandeur of Regency-style interior design. Its decoration likely draws inspiration from a visit to Paris by the Duke and Duchess in 1814, featuring Rococo and Baroque themes. Unfortunately, Elizabeth passed away in 1820 before the saloon was finished. Nonetheless, she significantly influenced the room's overall appearance, having collaborated closely with James Wyatt's son, Matthew Coates Wyatt, who is credited with painting the ceiling depicting mythological scenes. The Elizabeth Saloon stands as a testament to the elegance of the era and truly leaves a lasting impression on all who visit. The Elizabeth Saloon, no stranger to the big screen, was featured in the 2009 film The Young Victoria, where it served as a Duchess of Kent's drawing room. The last major room I visited during my visit was the impressive state dining room. Inspired by the Duke and Duchess's visit to Rome, this room is decorated in the Roman style and boasts a stunning coffered ceiling. Belvoir Castle's interiors are truly special. Unlike many historic houses where the visitor experience can be limited, much of Belvoir's marvellous interior spaces are open to exploration. There's much more to show, but I hope this video gives you a taste of what to expect. Belvoir Castle offers one of the best heritage experiences this country has to offer, and I highly recommend a visit if possible. I want to express my deepest gratitude to my friends at HeritageXplore for making my visit to Belvoir Castle possible. HeritageX is a digital platform that provides a one-stop shop for discovering England's finest independent historic houses and heritage experiences, and allows you to book directly. Please visit HeritageXplore.com to learn more. Please do subscribe to my channel if you found this video useful. Thank you so much for watching.